It's right in front of you. There's 3 levels of DBMS, which is internal, conceptual, and external. The internal level, just as my PowerPoint shows right here, defines how data is physically stored. Okay? Whereas the conceptual level provides a community view of the entire database. The external level allows users to view data in various formats. And the data independence is a key feature for DBMS architecture. So, with that being said, there are some types of databases that are widely used across the world. The most renowned databases used is what we call relational database, NoSQL, you should know this, object-oriented databases, hierarchical or hierarchy databases, and network databases. Who could tell me what this institution, what kind of database they use? Or more than one database that they use? Miss Gloria.
I knew they were gonna pick me anyway. We do have some NoSQL database on Zanzibar, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
This is all recorded. Oh my gosh, Ceci would kill me if I got this wrong. And we have relational database stored data.
All right.
In our SQL,
I'm gonna go back to you.
SSMS.
I'm gonna go ahead and touch on the differences of types of databases.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you a good example. Relational databases are structured.
Yeah.
They look like your Excel sheet, columns,
Mhm.
rows. I'm gonna give you a good example of that. You know, first name, last name, address, phone number,
Yeah.
and what other information that they like to include is pretty structured.
Yeah. That's what we have on SSMS.
Relational databases are used by bigger institutions, specifically financial institutions and health institutions like hospitals, clinics, anything that fall under that category. Whereas NoSQL, perfect example of that, the gaming industry. They're not structured. They're actually designed in a way that you can go ahead and add data in any kind of format. A good example of that will be a document or chat or text. Okay? The difference between these two is that relational databases, because of a structurization, they're more secure. Okay? NoSQL, being that they're unstructured, they're faster to access in and out, but the efficiency is actually not there. There could be efficient and also non-efficient, depending on what kind of business structurization they tend to install and the security business practice to protect it. Object-oriented databases. It's integrated with oriented programming. It's more code-based. It's basically, for people that are really into coding, making sure that, they just focus on one single operation, like providing birthdays in a glimpse, like this. Hierarchical databases organize data in a tree-like structure. Even though it's all over, they have a foundation, well secured. Network databases, this is the kind of database that this institution has because it has a pretty robust network. They're usually easy to access internally, of course. The people that have the right permissions. Remember last class that we talked about permissions as far as administrator, owners, and users. As long as you have the owner access and the administrator access, you can access a network database. The same principle with all databases. They have a hierarchy of permissions. These two are the most well used across the world. relational databases like Gensabar. Who can give me a good example of a gaming database? We just talked about one. The guy just broke in.
I know Rockstar, that's like a gaming company, they have like a bunch of files stored for the huge game they're working on, the GTA 6 that's coming out, and that even got broken into too, and like the hackers like leaked files of gameplay that wasn't even released to fans yet.
Thank you. You know, usually when you log into those services, specifically if you're playing online games right now, which is 99.999% of the people across the world, you're accessing these databases with your personal information and paying with what? What do you do to get in there? You have to pay for a service. What do you use? Credit card, or if you're using PayPal, or if you're using, you know, Google Pay or Apple Pay. If somebody breaks in any of those databases, chances are that they have your personal information. And let me tell you, if a hacker is going to break in a database such as, you know, the one that we heard today that happened, they're going after your personal information, specifically your financial information. They don't want to know how many games you have there. They just want to make sure that they get a hold of your financial information, which is very important for somebody that is going to be working in the field of data security to understand the difference of types of databases. There you have it, relational database, pretty structured, whereas NoSQL database, which will be a gaming database, flexible, you can use documents, key value graph, or column base, okay? The schema in a relational database is fixed, whereas on a NoSQL is dynamic, meaning, what does that mean? Elijah?
Anything, like multi?
Yeah, it's a multifunction, dynamic, progressive. Whereas the relational database is structured. I am going to handle only your first name, your last name, and your address. Don't ask me about Diablo 4 or, you know, Battle.net Galactica. You see what I'm saying? All right? They usually do query language, SQL, whereas NoSQL, Mongo, DB, and JSON-like queries, okay? SQL is known to be very structured. What, can anybody tell me what's ACID when it comes to databases? What does that mean? And it's not this chemical substance. Anybody? Relational databases, ACID compliance, or, you know, strong ACID compliance, where this NoSQL database varies, often eventual consistency. All right, we're gonna go back to that. So I need you to go ahead and focus on what is ACID compliance. Scalability, it's vertical meaning, you know, this database could be escalating in one single direction, as far as like, yes, it's scalable, okay? Horizontal scalability, scale out, those are two things that we're gonna go ahead and talk to in class, in class exercise today. So keep in mind, ACID compliance and these two different type of scalability. Uses or cases, SQL runs complex queries, like in Gensabar. Okay? Whereas NoSQL database is big data, real-time web apps, unstructured data. It's your front-end web database. That's what you're seeing. Pretty, nice graphics, gaming. Whereas relational databases, structurization, used for informational purposes. When you walk into the doctor's office, when you go into emergency, they will just pull out your information. That is a relational database.